Hello everybody. Tech, reforms and connectivity have been stated aims of the Modi style of governance. But how does the Prime Minister approach these aspects of governance today as he turns 75? Let's get you the man who has played an important role in making a lot of these aspects a reality. Thank you so much, Ashwini Vaishnaw, for joining us. Ashwini Vaishnaw, the Minister for IT, INB and Railways. So my first question to you, you're just back from Bengaluru after inaugurating the ARM facility. Semiconductors is a sensitive industry. I wanted to understand from you, what does it take for the Prime Minister to look at challenges like this? Because this is an industry that many countries started and failed. Even India started and could not really succeed. How does the Prime Minister look at challenges like this?
Any country which wants to have a significant presence in the global scenario would have to have, rather, let's say, mastery of certain technologies. Telecom is one of them, semiconductor is another, space, AI, quantum, train set manufacturing, defense manufacturing. These are the things on which a country would have to put focus, make sure that we become Atmanirbhar in these technologies. We should have a complete ecosystem of these technologies and a very deep talent pipeline. Right. That's what our Prime Minister has always focused on. For example, when we took the semiconductor program to him, we were discussing setting up a fab and ATMP unit. But Prime Minister inspired us. He said we must not only manufacture chip, we should also manufacture the machines which are used to make chips. Right. We should also manufacture the materials which are used to make chips. So that's a very comprehensive ecosystem view that he gave us. And it's that vision, that clarity of thought. And secondly, he told us that you should always think of at least 20 years ahead. Right. World is going to change, things will change. And when we are looking at a developed nation status by 2047, Viksit Bharat we want to make, we must set the foundation right, strong, and in the correct direction so that we are able to continue to build upon that.
Right. Mr. Vaishnaw, you've been very passionate about manufacturing, the smartphone manufacturing, or for that matter, your PLI schemes. With the GST reforms kicking in the next 5 days, is this going to be a game changer, specifically in the manufacturing sector?
Yes, it will make a very big difference. GST reforms will bring two major impacts. One, in the lives of common citizens, the cost of living will substantially reduce. Things will become less costlier, things will become cheaper, significantly cheaper. So many different things that we use in our day-to-day life, whether it is food items, clothing items, the electronics that we use in homes, everything is going to get cheaper. The second big thing which will happen is, we are today a 330 lakh crore economy. Our consumption is about 200, to be precise, 202 lakh crore. 98 lakh crore is investment. Now this 200 lakh crore consumption will significantly grow. Imagine, even if it grows by 10%, that means adding 20 lakh crore rupees to your economy. Right. That much more production will have to be done, that much more investment will be required. That is the virtuous cycle which will start and lift up the economy in a big way and also create employment in the process.
Right. Mr. Vaishnaw, also talking about the other portfolio that you hold, railways. We recently saw Mizoram also being added to the rail network. Railways is a very politically loaded portfolio. It's been handled by leaders like Lalu Prasad Yadav, Mamata Banerjee in the past. I want you to tell us how different is the Prime Minister's handling of railways and how does he balance, say, a Vande Bharat with an Amrit Bharat, the accessibility, affordability, safety, and more importantly, the high-speed rail network. How does he balance these aspects?
So our Prime Minister has always given us a very clear mandate that whatever you do, keep the common citizen, the common family at the forefront of your thought process. Right. So, for example, when we say we will construct new railway lines, new tracks, now the result should be that we should have more trains running so that the common citizen has better access to technology. When we say we have to bring new technology, that means the common citizen must have a better riding experience, better travel experience. New technology should also mean the common citizen should have more feeling of safety and a better safety track record because of the technology. So keeping that in mind is the fundamental mantra that the Prime Minister gave us, and that is part of each and everything that we think and do, so that that way of thinking has helped us in making sure that the change that we make is felt by the common citizens.
Right. Mr. Vaishnaw, what's your answer to critics who say that India is just, the tech space is just confined to not being inventors but just service providers? India will not be able to come up with ChatGPT or a DeepSeek, that Indian startups don't get to scale up, and the fact that we are not invested enough in research specifically when it comes to generative AI. What is the answer you'd like to give?
So we must look at the track record of the 11 years. Tell me, how many countries are there which can say that they developed a complete 4G, 5G telecom stack, complete stack? There were only 5 companies in 4 countries, 2 in China, 1 in South Korea, and 2 in Europe.
Right.
They were the only ones who could develop a complete 4G, 5G telecom stack. India is the country which has joined that very, very exclusive club. Tell me, how many countries can say that within a short time frame, we have 10 units of semiconductors under construction, and one of them has started pilot production? We have achieved that. Today we have 3 startups which have complete IP in their own companies residing. They got VC funding. Same is the case in AI. Very smart people are working on developing LLMs. We should see the LLMs coming out soon. The world today, yesterday I had a podcast with CEO, Rene, and he was so surprised when I explained our Way of Safety Institute. We have taken a very, very, very practical approach towards AI safety, developing technological solutions, then complementing that with the legal part of it. So that kind of original thinking is there in our country. That confidence is there among the youngsters. Critics will definitely criticize, but what's important is methodically keep moving forward. That's the way we are working.
One of my last questions to you, sir. You're not somebody who's, you're a technocrat, you're a bureaucrat, you've had an accomplished career even before you got into politics. What was that one piece of advice that the Prime Minister gave you that you really value in your lifetime?
Prime Minister told us very clearly that mind is important, but mindset is even more important. He always put emphasis on making sure that you have a positive problem-solving mindset, making sure that you look forward, you think forward, you consider everything. So, for example, in any meeting with Prime Minister, he's a very intent listener. Very, very intent listener. He'll listen to each and every word that you present. That way of working, I've learned from Prime Minister, is very, very important for us.
Right. And when it comes to policy making, does he take, because you've brought in a lot of policies, including DPDT or the online gaming, how's the Prime Minister invested in engaging with policy?
Very deeply invested, because take a look at the Semicon which we held recently. PM went there twice. The entire industry leaders who have been there across the world, when they saw that commitment from the leader of the country, they were so surprised and they were so impressed. They said that we are going to tell this to the entire world, which doesn't understand the importance of key technologies, how the Prime Minister of India is investing himself in developing a technology with giving so much emphasis and so much time to these things. So it's a very, he goes in good details. He is very, very, very detail-oriented person. It's not a 36,000 feet kind of discussion with him. And you can't take half-baked things to him. You have to be very deep in your work. You must have thought of every aspect before you go to him.
That's very interesting. So Prime Minister Modi is a man of details, also somebody who believes that policy needs to be centered around the lives of common